Pick anyone.
A condition is like a kind of like something that
Mm-hmm. Right, use this. If, else.
if else.
Mm-hmm. Use these two words, if and else. So conditions we are building using these two keywords always. So what do you think? Can you
Well,
explain?
yeah, if like this like if like it is less than, if it is more than 5, then don't do this. If it is less than 5, do this.
Yes,
That.
cool. Nice work, Eric. Simon, what do you think about conditions? Go on.
I think conditions basically like a directions that directs how the game will function. If something is like something's like out of value that meets some condition.
Yes, cool. Nice work, Simon and Eric. Exactly. Conditions is something you tell computer what to do. If something is gonna happen, what to do, and else what you have to do. Okay. So the first thing, usually let's say I'm gonna explain you this thing in a very detail. So let's say this is your code. Now you are standing over here. You're starting somewhere here. Now, usually when you start, you don't know where you're gonna go next. Now, before you make condition, just a very simple things to remember: the signs or the comparisons. So let's see if you can understand about all these operators. Operators are basically, you can compare using these signs. For example, let's say this is a bigger than sign. You all know this is the lower than sign. This is equals to, and this is not equals to, which we rarely use. This is bigger than or equals to, and this sign is lower than or equals to. Cool? You can either write this, or the other way of writing this is you can also write not. I'll explain you when it comes for trying that. For now, we just, let's say we are starting from here. So let's say u as an n as any number, you start from here. And you build a condition. Now, when you make a condition, you say, if, let's say, whatever the number you have, n, is bigger than 10. That's your condition block you just made. And if that's going to be true, only if that's going to be true, that means that this condition is true, then I want you to go down and let's say do something here. For example, print, but before you print, let's make some changes. I want to change the value of n. I want to say whatever the n it is, add 1 to it. And if that's done, come down. And let's say on the very end, I want to say the final. You end your run. And your end comes here. But if it goes false, I mean, if the condition doesn't matches, you can write the else. And now your else, this only comes when it is false. And if it is false, the else thing comes here. So else is, let's say, whatever the value of any you have, minus 1 from it. So I'm going to make a bracket. And then add an output here. Cool? All right. So let's say an example, I have n as a value of 5. So n is 5 now. We're going to make a kind of a run here. You go to this place. If your n is 5 less than 10 or bigger than 10?
It's less than 10.
So is it true or false?
It's false.
Okay, so you go out here. It says minus 1 from it. So 5 equals 5 minus 1 would give you 4. Cool. All right, I'm gonna give you something else. Let's say 11. If you're working with 11, then let's say you're gonna come down. N is bigger than 11 is bigger than 10. It's true. You come back here. N plus 1, 11 plus 1 will give you 12. I made a change in the script to make it look a little bit tricky. So, Eric, your turn. Let's try out. I'm going to give you two numbers. You just need to tell me what's going to be the final value. For you, N is, let's start with 9. What do you think, Eric? What's going to be the final value? So you start from here. You come to the condition. Is N bigger than 10?
No.
So it's false,
Plus
right?
11. Wait, no. So then if it's false, then it's 8.
Yeah, cool. That's why I made it tricky. Usually we say the lower one. This time I made it the higher one. So it's gonna be 8. Cool. Another number. Now I'm not gonna give you the sketches. Let's say a number is 15. What's the final number?
16.
Great. Nice work. So show me a thumbs up sign if you both understand about the conditions. Good, Simon. Eric? Do you understand about how condition works? Cool. Now, we need to do it here in Roblox. So I just shared, I opened a base plate map. You can do it on the same map that you're doing. For example, you're doing on the map that I gave you, where we did the last lesson. All you have to do is, again today, because we need to see the output, not in the output window anymore. We are game developers. I would like to see everything on the front. So quickly make a new Surface GUI part with a text in it. And this will explain you about our conditions. So make a simple board, really not that complicated. Let's say I'm going to name it as a condition board. And I'm going to add a Surface GUI in it. And inside Surface GUI, I'm going to add a text label in it. It's kind of small, so I'm just going to increase the text size of it. So text label, let's say the size, where is it? At this stage, I think you both know how to work with this, so I will let you create a board. I'm making a chalkboard, so I'm going to increase it to about 500 to make it look like a school chalkboard. I'll keep that design that way, 550. And 550. Stupid. 400 and 600. Okay, that should be fine, or I can actually increase the size more. About the parts, it's chalkboard, so black, not black basically, grayish. Yeah, it's a blackboard, but it's a wooden blackboard. So brown, material, wooden planks. Good. Zooming in. Let's see how it looks. All right, in front of it, I'm just gonna make that thing green. So text label, background color, green, dark green. Okay, and outline, I'm gonna make it white. Usually it is white. Outline would be sent to middle, border pixels 10. And wow, that looks interesting. Then the next thing is I just need to make the size a little bit bigger. So let's say, I think that should be 700. Okay, awesome. And 410. Cool. All right. Eric and Simon, can you make something like this? And the text, oh yeah, I didn't do the text too. Like a school chalkboard, you can actually change your design. It's up to you. You can make it sci-fi or anything. I just pick up any board. Make sure you name this thing as condition board. Permanent marker, rich text. Text color white. Yeah, that looks good. All right. All right, can you all do it? Create a board. Name the part as condition board. Now we're going to be adding a script here in the workspace. Always we add a script inside the workspace so that we can connect and understand about connections. The script is going to be called as conditions. And the script is going to work in this way. Let's say local. First, I want to connect my board. So that's going to be from game dot workspace. From workspace, search for condition board. You might have a different name. Now I want to connect the text over there. So board text. That's going to be from board, which we have connected. Go to surface GUI and from there text label. Board text dot text. I'll change it to lesson conditions. Now, we're going to wait here for, let's say, 2 seconds. Now let's learn about conditions. I'm going to create a variable. Let's say later, when you're going to be going ahead, I'll teach you about how we can request user to type the values instead of us typing the values. For now, I'm just going to say A is 5, or let's say N is 10. Okay, let's write a condition. So first we'll tell the user what the text, what number is. So I'll say, let's take a number. Or let's write here just N is, or let's say variable N is, and you can write the value. You can type any values you like. And now, once I convert that into a text or number, I want to write a condition. So I'm going to wait again for 2 seconds, and I would say board text or text, the whole thing. Running condition. So let's write a condition. Condition is N should be bigger. This time N should be lesser than or equals to 10. So let's wait for 2 seconds. And then we're going to write a condition. If N is bigger than or less than or equals to 10, then I want to do something. I would say the same thing. Our variable is less than 10 or equals to 10. So our variable is less than or equals to 10. It's really simple we are doing here. Equals to 10. And then we'll wait for 1 second. And I would say N, I would add 1 to it. N plus 1. And then I can change it. New value of N. New value of N is now N, which is going to be whatever the number it is. So if you're starting with 10, then it's going to be 11. But it still equals to 10. Else comes here. If it is not, when you're working with if and else, you don't really need to do if and else, but it's still a good idea to always use if and else here. If you're using else, then you need to write another end for it. Or actually, you don't really need to write another end for it. Else, I would say, copy this thing, paste it down here. A value or variable is bigger than 10. Bigger than 10, wait for 1 second, minus 1 from it, and write the new value of N. Let's try it out and see how it works. I'm going to actually start with something bigger. I'll start with 20. Playing. It's just explaining about how conditions are working. And in a real game context. Usually my Roblox video is kind of slow too because of my computer is getting old, I guess. So condition for me, N is, it goes to 19. Actually, no, it goes to 14 or something. I don't know what I said. It goes to 19. We're going to take out 1 from it. That's 19. Bad writing. Cool. That's working. Now, I will start with some different value. Usually, I think I should add a more wait here because my Roblox is taking too long to load. So let's say at least 10 seconds wait. And now I'm going to give a value of 8. Playing the game. So I can see the whole text happening in real time rather than just seeing the final value. So after 10 seconds, that thing is going to run. Lesson conditions. Variable is 8. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. More like a school lesson, right? But that's happening in your Roblox game. So go ahead, Eric and Simon, you can type this code. Remember, you don't really need to type all the lines. This thing is repeated. So copy and paste it just. You all can get started.